I spoke on it for Straight Circle Martial Arts, and this is why you miss with all your strikes. This is why people don't hit well, is because in their head they believe they have to hit with something, and because they already pre-planned the move, when the guy they're fighting against moves or changes, they freeze because the thing they planned on failed. So what you have to understand is how to actually hit somebody. What you're going to find when you hit is it's not your choice. Like, we all believe it is, but it's not. Your hit is dictated by two things. What position am I in, and what position is he? So if he's static like this, I can pretty much hit him with anything I want because he's not moving and it's an easy target. And I'm standing straight up. Now, let's say I cross and I want to hit him with this fist on a straight punch, and I crossed. Well, it's not there now. Now I would have to pull back and hit him, which is inefficient. What happens is now is because of what I moved, the closest weapon to the closest target is that, or this. Because that's what dictated by my body position. Every time I move and change, and my hands move, I have to use something different because of where I am. I could go back to what I pre-planned, say I wanted to punch him like this, and I ended up here, but I would have to do an inefficient thing to get there and hit him with that. Instead of going, hey, look where my hand is, and hitting him, because it's dictated by where I am. Now, here comes the hard part. So it's also dictated by where he is. So say I go to move him and he shifts. All of a sudden now I have to change angles or techniques because he's not in the same position he was. Just because I want to hit him with X doesn't mean that's going to happen because he changed. And what's really hard about hitting people is when we're doing this statically. I mean, when you're really moving and both guys are moving around, you have a lot of things going on. He's moving, I'm moving, and both of our angles and directions are changing. And your brain has to calculate what is the most efficient thing to get to that point from the angle we're both on. So how you have to do this is for years. You have to spend time practicing hitting different targets from different angles from where he's positioned and where I'm positioned. You should always go to, people always want to practice like where they're strong, right? Everyone wants to get in their position and hit them exactly the way they want. That's okay, but it's slow in a real fight because when you're in movement, you have to kind of get to that spot. But if you practice coming to angles that are different and you can learn how to hit from these spots and change because you've moved a lot, you get into your body, it teaches you over time, hey, what is the most efficient thing to hit on that angle? And then as you get better with it, he should move, and we should change, and play, and experiment, and I should see what is the most efficient thing I can throw from that position. And I don't think about it. I'm not trying to plan what I'm hitting as much as I have to observe where he is and what I can hit while we're in these motions. Now, gradually it gets faster, but you should start slow because if you don't, you get all flaky and weird and you won't get efficient. The first thing is you have to learn just very efficiently what is the closest weapon to the closest target and how do I get power behind it. That's it. Then he starts moving, then I start moving. But here's the secret to this. You guys have to have faith in your brain. Your brain is one of the most advanced calculators there ever be. And so if you were using a calculator, you would punch in numbers, and then you would hit it, and it would do the calculation for you. You wouldn't sit there, hit the thing, and then try to calculate it in your head and do the math. Well, what you guys do a lot of times when you're doing this is you don't trust your brain to make the calculation. When we move, I'm not going, well, he's on this angle, and that's on that angle, and if I hit him with this, no. My brain goes, hey, look, closest target, closest weapon. Boom, there, bang. Why? Because I've done it a million times. And my body knows where it should throw. I trust my brain to make those calculations without my help. I've already programmed it in. It already knows how to do it. Why do I need to interfere with it? But so many of you guys, because you second guess yourself out there, as you start going, well, if I go here, now I can, if I go here, well, all right, I want to hit him with this, and wait, if I go to here, I could do this and this. But why? It's like, it's inefficient. Train your body to just hit what's available, what is there, what it moves, and have faith that your brain is going to make those calculations without you trying to do them. And again, last thing, remember, you do not dictate what hit you're throwing. What dictates the hit you're throwing is where am I, what is closest, what is an angle. Because you see how as I change, I have to change all my techniques depending on where my feet are, depending on where my hips are, depending on where my body is. And then it depends on him. If he comes at me with this foot, right, I could do this. If he comes at me with the other foot, maybe I have to change because he changed the technique. It's a marriage between me and him. And it's just finding that sweet spot where we both fit. If you can do that, your hits will be much more accurate and much more powerful. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Feel free to leave comments and ask questions. Thanks very much for helping grow the channel.